Hey ladies and gents, it's Sister Liz here with a review of UkHa from Cosmic Legions from Four Horsemen Toy Design. Here's a look at the box. He's not in there, but he's out here in the front looking cool. Side we got the Oxcrew Book 1 story, so you can pause that and read that if you're interested. Here you have all the Cosmic Legions in a cross cell. And let's read UkHa's bio. So it says UkHa. As a remote planet, Thraxon is very primitive from a technological standpoint. While the Thraxians eschew any non-native technology, the Veblians revere the same tech, treating it with fascination and giddy excitement. Part of a structured, hive-like society, with homes built into the vast cliffs that rise from the valleys of Thraxon, Veblians adorn these homes with the discarded technological curiosities that they find. Most Veblians view these trinkets as mysterious treasures, but some, like UkHa, have learned how to repair and use some of the items which they have found, making them even more revered by their tribes. The Oxcrew are cautious as they make contact with another native of Thraxon, but UkHa quickly puts the crew at ease and makes himself useful. Helping the crew's mechanic Cog repair some demolition gear, the Veblian also provides the crew with some invaluable insights about the planet, which they find themselves stranded on, and the species which call Thraxon home. So he's a Veblian, all right? And he's the thing I love most about him, I think, is how he's so Muppety. You know, a lot of people have talked about the Jim Henson kind of influence. And I know that Eric Treadaway, the sculptor and creator of Cosmic Legions, you know, as a child of the 80s. And so he was influenced by Jim Henson and a lot of the movies like Labyrinth, where you have these cool little Muppety creatures. And this guy, man, he just really scratches that itch. And now that I have him out and see his little salamander spots, and he might be my favorite. I think he might be my favorite of the entire wave, just because of that retro coolness, the sort of vibe, you know, the sort of Henson vibe, how he's freaky looking, and he's just got all these little cool alien accessories, and he just seems really friendly. And let's have a closer look at him. I really like what they've done with the paintwork here. You know, the shading, the airbrushing, the different shades of orange on the body that really bring out the sculpt nicely. Here we got a look at the back. He's got this canister strapped on there, so you can tell he's kind of a scavenger. He's got this, you know, like utility belt sort of, you know, bits and bobs, and that falls off. But I think I may pop a little super glue in there. But anyway, the canister, let me show you, well that came off. It actually comes out. So it's like a little basket here, right? And it's got a pouch, and some kind of, looks like a communications device. And then this, you know, round canister. I don't know what that is, but it's very cool. And it's just one of a lot of bits and bobs, right, that he has that really are fun and make this character just, you know, seem like the kind of tinkerer and cobbler that he's described in the bio. I'm not even sure if I'm putting that in right, but anyway, this little knob here goes into the back hole, and then this plugs into that. So I think it stays in there pretty good, but I might just put a dab of super glue there so it doesn't fall out at all. I like the huge oversized pauldrons. I like the details on the paintwork there, kind of the rust. It looks like there's like some feathers or some sort of adornment down there, and then just all this little bits and bobs and tubes and stuff. He also has these goggles and an alternate head where he's wearing the goggles, and then you can see the little this little ball, and this little like bony piece, little bottle, all the, looks like grenades, just a bunch of little things that he, I imagine, tinkers with and uses, but he's just a really friendly looking creature. Cool long limbs, really long fingers, right? The thick neck. I just love all of the design aesthetic of this guy. You know, kind of like, you know, he's got these bracelets, kind of like a Mad Max world meets Jim Henson. And then this, I don't know if it's a weapon or some sort of technological thing, but I can tell that, and I think it's been mentioned, that Eric Treadaway got the inspiration for this particular thing from a tree pruner. So I can see him like gathering fruits and nuts and berries, or pruning trees or whatever, or just poking somebody with the business end of that stick. But I just love the, you know, cobbled together nature of that weapon, I guess, and the whole creature. The proportions are awesome. I like the big head, the big neck, and then it just goes down into these small little like amphibian type legs, muscular like a frog maybe. But yeah, just so awesome. And then the paint on the head, you know, you can see the spots there on the top, kind of like a frog. And then the big googly eyes, sort of like a hammerhead shark, you know, a little bit. There's another character, I think, in Oddworld that's a steed that has a head that's somewhat reminiscent of this guy. But I love that, you know, because like hammerhead sharks are so bizarre, but they have excellent vision, even though their eyes are at the end of stalks. They have like 360-degree vision. So I imagine this guy being very good at that. I put him up here on this orange rock that's not a very solid place to stand, because but I think it looks cool because it's kind of alien orange and translucent. This is, well, the alternate head that we get with him, and that's him with his goggles on. So googly eyes with goggles makes him even more googly. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to display him. I like both heads so much, but I'm glad that they included the goggles and the goggles on look, and then they included the goggles here, so when he doesn't have his goggles on, they're just dangling there at the neck, so because it's a very cool part of the character. So that's the goggles on look. Yeah, see, this is the one accessory that is hard to stay on. But like I said, I'm gonna put a little dab of super glue there, and I'm sure it won't give me any more problems staying on. I also like this little bag. It's got the little airbrush there of dirt, and it's open, so you could put whatever it is that he's gathering in there, and it looks really, really, really cool, really neat. I don't know what else to say about this guy. He's just, I think he's my favorite. And sometimes as I go through Cosmic and I go through Mythic, it's always the newest cool figure that I open that I say, oh wow, that's my favorite now. But I love the aliens in this line. I love the weirdness of it. I think that people are going to totally fall in love with this character. And I think he's going to be one of the popular ones in this wave for sure. If you haven't picked up your Cosmic Legions from this, you know, go and get them while the getting is good, because I see this just ramping up and these characters becoming very, very popular. Because who doesn't like these aliens? You could easily see this guy fitting in the world of Star Wars, or, you know, with it, maybe some of the other properties, some of the Henson properties or whatever. But just a cool guy. This guy is definitely going to be in my permanent display for sure. I may try to find him a steed. Maybe I'll put him and have him ride on the skate back I don't know, but yeah, it's just awesome. This is what we collect action figures for, to get that creativity, get that imagination, get that nostalgia going, right? And this guy, he does that. He's so full of character. He really captures the imagination. He's so well done, so well executed, sculpted and painted. And it's just like a really, really fun work of art. And when toys are done, right, correctly, they bring joy. That's their only purpose, right? It's not a utilitarian thing to have toys or collect toys. But if they bring joy, and this guy does, then they've hit the sweet spot. So congratulations to Eric Treadaway, Four Horsemen. Good job on this great figure. I know I said the Thraxian was my favorite, and then Orvar was my favorite when I pulled him out, but this guy really is. So is the Wiz signing out.